and maybe this is something for Florence to answer, or the staff to answer. People mention water dependency, and that the Corps says that you cannot destroy wetlands unless the project is water dependent.
I will defer.
Just to clarify, yes, there was a comment about water dependency. First off, I want to stress that this is not the Corps. What the matter before you today is the water quality certification, which the Corps would get a copy of that, and it would become part of the Corps' permit. The Corps has additional permitting requirements that they have outside of the 401 regulations that they have to address. So as far as the concerns about how the Corps has done that, those things would need to be taken up with the Corps. We're here to talk about what the issues are around the 401 water quality certification and regulations that govern that. In regards to the comment about water dependency, the thing to remember to know about water dependency with 404 permit applications are that if it's a water dependent activity, then it absolutely has to be in those areas. If it's non-water dependent, there's an assumption made that there is an alternative that exists that would either avoid or minimize the impacts to waters of the U.S. When speaking of water dependency and a non-water dependent activity, that's where the Corps gets into their 404B1 guidelines that outline all of the alternatives and all of the other impacts that are associated with that project. So when you have non-water dependent activities, that's when the 404B1 guidelines come into play. MDEQ is not responsible for the 404B1 guidelines. That is the Corps' regulations to enforce, not DEQ's.
So you're saying the water dependency issue is going to come later?
The water dependency issue is determined by the Corps of Engineers, not MDEQ.
Have they determined it yet?
Yes.
And what have they determined?
Well, obviously it's non-water dependent, so therefore there was alternatives that they had to address in their permit application. But I cannot speak to the Corps of where they are with their permit review. The only thing that I can speak to is what MDEQ has received and where we are in our permit review.
Well, my question is for the Corps then. If it's not water dependent, why are we messing with 3 acres of wetlands?
Well, your agency also got a copy of that public notice, and I don't know what your agency had to say about that, but I will say that that is a question, yes, for the Corps whenever it deals with water dependency. They make that determination, not MDEQ.
So it's possible that the site could be developed without messing with the 3 acres of wetlands?
If they can demonstrate that, but the applicant did provide to us as far as what they have looked at for alternatives, and we are comfortable making the recommendation that we're making. But it is up to the permit board to make that decision, not DEQ staff.